connecting your brain and body with interactive games and tests. Why is there no physical activity in today's health physical? Trazer is an holistic technology used to rehabilitate, prevent falls, and improve sport performance. Trazer reports provide you, your clinician, your physical therapist, or athletic trainer objective data to make decisions on your health and performance over time. Measure what matters to change your game. Take the Trazer Challenge. Confidence, growth, connected by Trazer.
What's going on, everybody? Your man Eric Wilson for the Sports Arena here on yet another Monday night. Let me get my brother up in here, Mr. Alex Fleming. Good evening. Oh, you got a new name. Wow. Former Bears fan. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this. We're going to save this for after the show tonight, but make sure you stay tuned immediately following this show tonight because my brother Alex Fleming had a very interesting. I will just put it very bluntly and say this. Y'all think I go off on my hometown team? Yeah, you definitely want to hear what this brother has to say about his former football team, the Chicago Bears. But we will dive into that a little bit later on tonight. My brother, as always, it is great to see you. Thank you for joining me. We got a lot to cover, and I'm sure people will be jumping in and out throughout the evening, but let's get it started. And I guess we have to give our thought and opinion on what we've seen with, as you have called him, Deshaun Watson, what has been going on in the headlines and the allegations that are being brought against this young man. So I definitely want to hear from you and get your thoughts on this.
I have a 30-second request. Let me get off this horrible Wi-Fi. Let me use my internet for the phone so I can give you my full perspective.
Fair
I'll be right
enough.
back.
We're going to pay some bills while Alex does his thing. Be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
At Fusion Sport, we're all about driving human performance. We develop and support a range of technologies all designed to assist people to be their best. SmarterBase is used by hundreds of elite sporting organisations across the globe, and more recently has been used by the military and performing arts as well.
Our SmarterBase technology has at the heart of it an integrated and connected philosophy. What's different about SmarterBase is that it's truly flexible and self-engineerable. That really puts the power into our customers' hands, and it allows them to use it in unique ways that perhaps we haven't even thought of.
Between ourselves and the rest of the field, but here comes Jimmy Stone.
And welcome back to the Sports Arena. All right, my brother, please educate our viewing audience with your thoughts on Deshaun Watson.
First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to a hater by the name of Austin in a Football World Sports Group, John Turner's own. Because whenever I broke the news, I've been known to kick myself in the teeth, but I always get back up and I always seem to repair. You see me? Yeah, that's not fake and they're not partials. Just because I might have broke the story a little bit wrong, I have enough courage to say I'm wrong and I fixed it. But y'all just can't seem to let it go. Y'all been drinking too much damn Kool-Aid, and instead of sugar, y'all added salt. I'm still here. I bounced back. I digress. Deshaun Watson is being scammed. He's being framed. He knows that in America, whatever a black man does carries weight, and people don't want to seem to forget that, and they hold grudges. Now, he's been accused of 12 sexual assaults or misconducts with Jane Does, women who aren't even named. just to bring down his value for the Houston Texans franchise, which I find ironic because he said that he will not play for them anymore. Yes, Russell X. Baxter, NFL Talk 32, he stated he will not play for them anymore. And Tyrod Taylor and Ryan Finley are not Deshaun Watsons. So it doesn't make a damn difference whether you got Mark Ingram, Dante Hilliard, or Philip Lindsay in the backfield because you need a quarterback to run that ship. I digress again. Deshaun Watson has been a model citizen before he got to the NFL. He was a model citizen at Clemson. You have to go all the way back to his high school days, the last time he got into a damn fight. So for him to have multiple accusers, let alone 12, with none of them having a name, by a lawyer who happens to be the next door neighbor of Cal McNair, who's had multiple cases that have been questionable at best. I mean, it's almost like I wrote an article about this or something. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember if I did. Oh, wait, yes, I did. That's right. It's a football world and we all just live in it. Here's my point. Innocent until proven guilty doesn't comply with Black America because our skin is our sin and we're automatically accepted as evil instead of good. Yet when you have an individual who flew all the way to Israel to get baptized and did nothing but help out his alumni and college by breaking down a Confederate flag and hall that was segregated, if you will, from the Clemson University, it's kind of hard to disparage this man. But leave it up to Cal McNair and Tony Busby to disparage a humble, young, gifted, 25, about to be 26-year-old face of the franchise that you wouldn't listen to, but now want to bring down the trade value so that way you can get out of this multi-million-dollar contract. Shame on Houston. Shame on the Texans. Shame on McNair. Shame on Tony Busby. And shame on all you clowns who try to clown people when news like this produces. Now, I'm not Alice in Chains, but I've already admitted I've kicked myself in the teeth. And I'm not down in a hole. But again and again, whenever you produce media and you produce news and people come at you wrong, you got to have people like John Turner have your back like, you know what? What you talking about and why you talking loud? Check yourselves. We do this for a reason. And we've been doing this for what? 3, 4, 5, 10 years?
Here's what I will say with regards to that, and I want to bring in our buddy, Mr. Michael Caratanudo, Believe in the Pac-12. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Oh, man, busy.
I see that. Staying, hey, steady to your craft, my brother. Here's what I want to say about Deshaun Watson and this whole situation as it begins to truly unfold. Because we heard Monday, actually today, we actually heard last week that it was 2 or 3. And so I'm not taking these allegations lightly, but I am doing my due diligence, much like I'm sure the two of you gentlemen are, in making sure that before we throw somebody under the bus, back it up and run over them again, we have all our facts. Because it's one thing to criticize a man for the wrongdoings. It's another thing to just out and out blatantly say you are guilty without knowing all the facts. Now, Alex, to your point, to the Jane Does that are out there, if in fact this is true, and let me say this again so that everybody understands me, if in fact these allegations are true, then by putting a Jane Doe's name and not bringing yourself to the limelight, I think that is a security reason and a safety reason for them. And I get that. But please believe where I stand right now is simply this. I feel that until all evidence has been brought to light and we know all the facts, not just what is currently put out there by social media, the clowns that you call them, or even by relevant people, I need to see the entire transcript before I pass judgment. I stand with Deshaun Watson for now. And yes, I put that caveat on the end because if it does come to light down the road that what he did is in fact what they said he did, that's a different conversation that brother's going to have at a later time. So, Mike, I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, to piggyback off Alex's point, I mean, the frustrating thing is if you're Deshaun Watson and obviously these cases, if you, like you said, if he in fact did do it, then yes, that's a whole different conversation, Eric. But people start piling on. You go from 2 to 12 suits, and they're all civil, of course, which is frustrating because if in fact it is true, go criminal trial. Like obviously it's a criminal charge if that's happened, but yet these are all just civil suits because it makes it look like they just want the money. Now, the problem with it, I get with proven stuff criminal wise, it gets dragged out. So Deshaun Watson, that's even worse for him, especially being innocent. Like Alex says, guilty or innocent until proven guilty has been out the door since I would say since social media even started, Alex, for anyone and everybody, because it's almost better.
Mike, I hate to cut you off. Guilty until proven innocent has been the way of life for those of us who don't look like you, sir. Let me just say that.
No, I understand. But I'm saying that it's for everybody. There's people I know of all across the board have been accused of something, didn't do it, got proved they didn't do it, but people still address them as, oh, you're the person that did this. But they didn't. They were actually innocent and they proved it. So if you're rehabilitated, if you're, say Deshaun Watson, in this case, was found guilty, or you know what, not even Deshaun Watson, go to Michael Vick. I was always, as you know, I was supportive of Michael Vick. He made a mistake. He did his time. Now, his friends also should have been in jail. It was pathetic that Michael Vick was the only one that went to jail for this because whoever turned on him or whoever did what. But you and I had that conversation. When he signed with the Eagles, I was actually happy for him because, look, he did his time. He deserved playing in the NFL. All the haters, like Alex says, all the people saying, oh, well, I won't even credit PETA people because they can't tell you anything. But he deserved every right to be back in the NFL. Every single right. He served his time. He committed a terrible crime, and he should be back in the NFL. For Deshaun Watson, though, you're piling on, and all of a sudden, like you say, it goes from 2 to 9 in almost 2 days. It's like if you have a massage therapist, and as you know, Eric, I don't have one just, on call because I don't have those millions laying around, or I would send one to you and Alex both because I know Alex needs one too. But if you have a massage therapist,
I'm good. Thank you.
Happy ending.
You know what? No. Anyway, if you have a massage therapist at that level, you're not bouncing around to 3 or 4 or 5. So that's what the first kind of antennas up on me was. Like, really? Now, so, okay, so it happened, and then she's like, I can't see you anymore. So he goes to the next one. But what the timeline of it all happening, it is frustrating. And if to drive down somebody's trade value, I mean, again, people can say that's a crazy conspiracy theory. No, it's really not. It's kind of out there. It's pathetic that somebody would go that far out to do it. But yeah, I mean, again, but I'm with you, Eric. And I having been friends with girls that have been sexually assaulted and raped, like if people, for any person to accuse a guy of doing it, like you're just disrespecting any other female that has truly been that, and you're just trying to get money out of it. And I'm not saying that they are. I'm with you. If he did do it, but as of right now, to just pile on and everything's all civil and not criminal, I hold my reservations.
Alex?
3 things. 1, if this all turns out to be a sham, I hope Deshaun Watson sues every single Jane Doe out there, because I think ladies will get the clue. Don't you dare come forward trying to ruin my career unless you have proof or I actually did it, because people need to clap back. Nonsense like this needs to stop. Number 2, shout out to John Turner, because it's a football world and we just live in it, for having my back and showing those clowns the curtain, and for John Shearer for helping me break the news on the Twitter. I was just minutes behind Albright. I broke it to Facebook, and I got haters, but you know what? You two have taught me you don't let sheep control the antics of a lion.
Not at all.
And the last thing I'll say, Eric, too, to that point, I agree with it, because none of the 3 of us are up here saying that obviously that domestic violence or, alleged sexual abuse is right. And I want people need to understand that, because where Alex is coming from, I agree. because to be a male, and like you said, black, white, to be a male and be accused of it.
Yes.
Even if we're innocent, Eric, I mean, skin color aside, I know it's hard to do it. I'm just saying, any male that's accused of it, if you're innocent, people still look at you like you were that pervert that did it. So to be accused and even be acquitted is still worse, because there's going to be, and I will say they're clowns. Like Alex saying, there's always going to be clowns out there saying, oh, those 3 guys had money. Those guys were in the limelight. That's why, okay, so they were found innocent. But to be accused and be innocent is worse than is almost worse than going to jail, doing your time. And they're like, oh, this person turned their life around. Look, they're rehabilitated. It's like they're a convicted felon of sexual assault, but you're going to say, I got
they
accused.
They should be rehabilitated as opposed to the guy who actually didn't do it, but in the court of public opinion was ultimately found guilty. Right. All right, we're going to move on from this because this conversation could spiral down a road that I'm not ready to go. But let's keep it moving.
Yes, it happens all the time to brothers.
It does. You're right. So let's move on. So Alex, 3 seasons you and I have been covering the Orlando Magic, and I think aside from us talking about the fact that they need to rebound more, the one question that we've always had
they need to rebound more? I've never heard that.
Yeah, exactly. The one question that we have always asked around this time frame has been the trade deadline, has been, is Aaron Gordon still going to be a member of the Orlando Magic squad? Well, it has come down that he has requested a trade. So, Alex, you are right there, hop, skip, and a jump from the Amway Center. You got to give me the pulse of Orlando right now with this news dropping about Aaron Gordon.
Personally, I'm not surprised. This was writings on the wall. Bro, they haven't won a game in almost a damn month. They're on an 11-game losing streak. My apologies, it could be 12. I'd quit counting after 10. They're on an 11-game losing streak. They don't look good. They're not playing defense. They look tired. Bro, from inside sources, remember when they had that West Coast trip when they went to Arizona and California?
Yes.
Let me tell you, there were some people in the department that were happy as hell that they were gone because they know how insufferable this team can be. Now, even though they like each other on the inside, they don't like losing. And you got some dogs and some chihuahuas in that locker room, and not everybody sees eye to eye, even though everybody's on the same page because of Clifford. Clifford doesn't need this stress. Clifford didn't leave Charlotte to come here to be, handcuffed on what he can and can't do, who he can and can't train, who's injured, who can play, and just playing dominoes, if you will, with the guards. Now, everything was fine until Markelle Fultz went down. And then it was a spiral. And like I said, from inside sources, because good media never tells their sources, he's been on the block for a while. He's been unhappy for a while. He's been wanting to leave for a while. I remember it was about a year ago today that I was shooting at a friend's house, and it was you allowed Miss Ruth the Truth to be the narrator, and it was Jake on one side and me on the other side, and we were talking about trade rumors from Aaron Gordon back then. Well, it's true. And you know what? I asked about Aaron Gordon a couple of weeks ago because he had an ankle sprain. An ankle sprain. That's 2 to 3 weeks max. When was the last time you saw Aaron Gordon suit up and play for the Orlando Magic? I'm just asking.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Exactly. Guys, this needs to happen. Yes, I cover Orlando. Yes, I want to be faithful, but this team isn't going anywhere. They're fighting with the Minnesota Timberwolves for the number 1 spot. They don't shoot well from the 3. Terrence Ross is 50-50. Either he's hot or he's cold. Transition defense is bad. We're still talking about them getting out rebounded. I mean, it's pathetic. Vucevic is an all-star, but once he hits the bench or gets a technical, what do you have? Nada. The land of Disney, it's not all fun and games.
So let's dive a little deeper into that. And Mike, I definitely want your input. You asked the question. Let me answer the question for you. The question then is, when Vooch takes a timeout or gets, needs to sit down and get a rest for a few minutes because the man has earned it, Where is Mo Bamba? Where is Al Farouk Aminu? Where are these other big men who are supposed to complement Vooch and provide that bench production?
That's a question?
Yeah, that's
That's
a
a
question. That's a legit question.
Okay, here's a question that I ask you to answer that question. Would you rather have Luka Doncic, Trae Young, or Mo Bamba? That's a question for Orlando Magic staff. Here's another question. Why hasn't Mo Bamba been the player that was the player at University of Texas? Because he's been a shadow of himself. Love the man off the field. Trust me, he's paid dividends off the field. On the court, he's been missing in action. And I don't want to get an old-ass Chuck Norris to try to find and rescue him. Bro, they don't have any guards. They don't have anybody to back up Vucevic. Aaron Gordon can prosper somewhere else. He's an average of 16 and 8. Now, before you whoop-de-woo and ha-ha that's a number 3. Maybe even a number 4 for some teams. But if you have a number 3, imagine what a couple of teams could do with the number 3. Imagine if Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal had a number 3. Yeah, you ain't laughing at the Wizards no more. Imagine if the Bulls had a solid number 3, because they have an inconsistent number 3. What if they had a solid number 3? Yeah, the Bulls could be back, especially in that central division. What if the Lakers had him to come off the bench with Kyle Kuzma and just produce more points? Lakers win another championship. LeBron gets more help. Yay! Aaron Gordon is a solid player, and he deserves to win. And sometimes you get sick and tired of losing. And this should be a lesson to Orlando Magic staff, facility, office, nurses, and clients. Don't expect people to stay faithful when you don't stay faithful to yourself. Winning matters.
Mike?
Yeah, they lost 10 out of 11. Like I was saying, they lost 9 in a row, and then somehow they beat that. When they beat the Nets, I seriously thought that was – I meant to text you guys, like, seriously, are you guys messing with the bottom line? Because I didn't get to see the game, and I'm like, the Magic beat the Nets. I don't care who wasn't playing for the Nets. Harden was playing for the Nets, and I'm like, how did the Magic beat the Nets? But, yeah, I mean, Aaron Gordon, I liked his game early on. It is tough for me to compliment him, as you know, because he went to some school down south here.
I understand.
Yeah, but I will say, obviously, his talent is good. And, yeah, I mean, when I asked you guys when we started talking about trades, like, I thought Mo Bamba would come on. I'm with you, Alex, too, because Markelle Fultz found his shot. Looks like he found a home. He didn't want to trust the process and choke on cheesesteaks in Philly, as you like to say. So he wanted to get out and come to the sunshine. No, but all kidding aside, I mean, Markelle Fultz, I mean, he was starting to come around. I'm like, this is a team that could definitely battle for the playoff. I mean, if the Knicks are battling for a playoff spot, I'm thinking Markelle Fultz, Mo Bamba should come around. You have Aaron Gordon. I'm like, you have these guys that you see, it's like, all right, they can do some damage. And, yeah, then you lose to the Pistons and you lose 9 in a row, including, like, it's back-to-back against the Pistons. Well, you beat the Pistons and they lost to them. But, yeah, if a player wants to get out in this day and age, I mean, and that's what I think frustrates fans. Because Aaron Gordon does want out. He requested a trade. They don't have to trade him, obviously. He could stay hurt for a very long time for the rest of the few games that are left. But if Orlando's smart, like you're saying, I mean, they need another body in there that they could probably that they would aim to re-sign or build through the draft. I mean, as much as I tease you, Eric, but the Sixers, I mean, yes, there were picks that didn't work, but there's a ton of picks that did work. They're able to make trades when they needed to. Obviously, you bring in Doc Rivers. So if you're the Magic, I mean, again, I felt they were on the upward trajectory last season. And now it's just like, if Alex is saying from inside, like they're not happy and they don't like losing. I got an idea. Start playing like a team on the court and go battle. But at the same time, like you can't, once a guy requests a trade, his other teammates, I mean, how much are you really going to want to play with him? How much you would want to get him the ball? And if he's not playing, you're going to be frustrated at him too. So they all get the business side, but don't tell me to a man that in the locker room, no media, no cameras around, that they're not very pissed off at each other, saying some choice words about why don't you man up and just play the game?
So let me say this as someone who has been an insider, with the exception of, COVID last season and a little bit of time that I have this season with this team. Mike, you hit the nail on the head. In the 3 seasons that Alex and I have watched this team, we had seen them, and I say we had, past tense, seen them start to move up in a positive progression. You know, they were in the playoffs the last 2 seasons that we've covered them, in the bubble. The last 3. They've been in the postseason. Granted, they were the number 8 seed, but they were still there. You know what I'm saying? And so I saw this team. We saw the pieces. I used to say the 2-man power trip that is Gordon and Isaac. Vooch is an all-star. Terrence Ross is supposed to be the human flamethrower. When they had DJ Augustine, he was that veteran presence that I think is truly missing from this team right now. Markelle was starting to become Markelle. The pieces around them, you know, the complementary pieces that should have been guys like MCW. Now they have a James Ennis, a Gary Clark, you know, an Al-Farouq Aminu, a Chumo Okiki, a Dwayne Bacon. You've got these guys, and it's like, where's the intensity? Where's the you know, this game is not a hard game. Listen, I'm all for the finesse. I'm all for the dunks, the alley-oops, the highlights, the showstoppers. I'm for that. But let's get down to the brass tacks of it. It's 5-on-5. And it just seems as though right now, when I look at this team and I watch this team, it's more like 2.5-on-5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How they beat the Nets, I don't know. But when a team that I have watched on the come up just all of a sudden hits that plateau, if you will, then yeah, I have to ask myself, take away the athletes. Is this a coaching problem? Is this a training problem? Is this a strength and conditioning problem? What is not working from 2 to 3 years ago to where this team has lost 9 straight? Alex, you and I have never seen the Magic together go lose 9 straight. Never since we've covered this team. So, listen, I get COVID played a factor, but they had time to rehabilitate. And the injury bug, you know what? I understand it. I don't like it. I think someone needs to, you know, whoever the strength and conditioning coach is for the Orlando Magic, let me just give you a public service announcement really quick. Gentlemen, excuse me. Whoever the strength and conditioning coach is for the Orlando Magic, I say this from the bottom of my soul. Whatever you do moving forward, could you please help these guys stand upright? Because it seems that a lot of the injuries that these guys are suffering are from the knees down. Torn MCLs, torn ACLs, knees, I mean, just like they knocking 2 old knees together, ankle sprains, figure that part out for me. Because the upper body is fine, but something wrong with them stilts. Sorry, guys, I just had to get that out there really quick. I look at this and I'm like, what the hell? And I don't know where they go from here. I don't know where they go. I really don't.
Real talk. And I don't want to get too personal because they're kind of sensitive, especially when you talk bad about the team. The Orlando Magic is in the top 10 in money when it comes to salaries. Take away Vooch. And I'll let Isaac off the hook. ACL. I'll let him off the hook. Can you give me a star? I mean, a bona fide star. You talk to any NBA circle, bona fide star on this team. Second question. Why are you spending so much money and not producing W's? You got people making $20, $30 million a year, multi-million-dollar contracts, no trade clauses, and you're losing. You don't want to hire any big names because you don't want to get burnt. Dwight Howard syndrome. And the last time you had a big name, Shaquille O'Neal, you didn't want to re-sign him. And you could have had a big name like Tim Duncan, but you didn't want his girlfriend flying on a plane to come visit you. This has been a history of bad decisions. It's bigger than the players. It goes to front office. It goes to management. It goes to selection of players that you want. You could have had Luka Doncic. You could have had Trae Young. You settled for Mo Bamba. You currently have no healthy guards on the roster. Cole Anthony just now coming back. Markelle Fultz just went down. at the beginning of the season. Do you want to count Evan Fournier to win you games? Do you? They need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and fix it.
I agree. We're going to leave that topic alone. We got to pay some bills. When we come back, we've just got started, ladies and gentlemen. This next topic we're going to talk about, I'm going to let y'all know right now. It is one that I am not going to be kind about. So you might want to go ahead and get your popcorn ready for this one, because I may just go off. More with my man, Alex Fleming, and Michael Caratanudo, and your man, Eric Wilson, here on the Sports Arena. We'll be back in a moment.
Generations Physical Therapy has been the Tri-State's leader in physical therapy services for over 20 years. And now we have a convenient location right in the heart of the capital city of Charleston, just off I-64. With convenient parking and flexible hours, your access to physical therapy is second to none. Plus, Snap Fitness is also in sight with 2 floors of gym equipment and sports enhancement training through A-Game Sports Performance. So whether you're needing hands-on physical therapy or looking to get results in our gym, our family's ready to help yours. Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness. Multiple services, multiple locations. Experience you can count on.
Welcome back to the Sports Arena. Your man, Eric Wilson, alongside Alex Fleming and, of course, Michael Caratanudo. So, as I said, this next topic is near and dear to my heart, and I got a huge problem with what went down. So let me just say this to everybody listening. Y'all know I've said it last year, and I'm going to continually say it. Women are athletes, damn it. And if y'all don't get used to this by now, then you're the problem. I'm just going to call it out as is. So what went viral this week was an NCAA women's athlete commented on her TikTok page about just the basic lack of decency given to these women in the NCAA March Madness tournament. She showed the workout room, which was nothing but one stack of barbells going from 5 to 30 pounds. Meanwhile, when you look at the men's NCAA basketball workout room, it looked like a full gym. And I'm glad this went viral. I'm sorry that it had. No, I'm not sorry. Why is my question. Why did it take Steph Curry from the Golden State Warriors and her going viral on TikTok for this to be addressed? What on God's green earth is the NCAA doing? I thought they were bad when it came to football, but this was just blatant, out and out, just total, just garbage. It took them actually saying something in order for it to get addressed and to be handled. And I am sick and tired of women athletes not getting the respect that they deserve. I understand that they are held to a different standard because they are women, but they're athletes first, okay? They go out there each and every night just like the men do, and sometimes perform better than the men do, and they still don't get the simplicity of equity and equality. And it irritates me to no end, that I'm trying to remain as professional as I possibly can. But I'm going to continually say this. I don't care if I'm talking to tone-deaf ears. Somebody's going to hear me. Women are athletes. Deal with it, get used to it and start giving them the respect they deserve.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Nothing else needs to be said. I mean, you shouldn't be shocked that this came from the NCAA. I mean, really? You're shocked this came from the NCAA? Bro, they're making billions off of these college kids, women and men, and they want to sue and then take away your scholarship if you sign a jersey from a fan. Bro, they've been stealing from us, kids, athletes, women, society, poor, middle-aged, healthy to contribute for decades. That's why I wasn't shocked.
I was a wee bit shocked. I mean, in this day and age, but yeah, right. Steph Curry and I mean, a lot of these other players that got in on Twitter. And I was cracking up because, it's funny. Then they released a statement and then they fixed the weight room because it was Sedona's from Oregon that posted that video. And then they showed the new weight room. But it's not a shock because the whole thing with the NCAA is they're always reactive, not proactive. All they can ever do is react and protect their butt. And it is pathetic. And when people say, NCAA is the one that markets, that has to help market this. Your time, I mean, ES, I will say they got with them, but they did the last few years. You've seen more women's football during the regular season. I mean, Fox Sports, I will say, has been a little bit better than ESPN throughout the years in the regular season and putting it on when they started broadcasting more. But it wasn't just like, because it used to just be like UConn and Tennessee or Carolina and Rutgers and maybe the West Coast because of Tara Vonderveer and what she's done with you get like a Stanford game. I mean, now all these games, like with the conference networks, they're on TV, but to get like the major exposure. But yeah, the fact that somebody and you can even piggyback the gift bags. I mean, they got like a few things, and compared to like the men's gift bags,
don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me started on that. That was a joke. Okay, right. That was a complete, utterly just blatant out and out joke. You're giving them 5 and 6 and 7 things, and the men are getting like 40 and 50. You kiss my natural black ass on that one. I'm sorry. No, right. I'm not even that. That mic would require a smoking section. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yes. No, it would obviously no, and I felt the same way. It's complete. But you can blame. Look, there's so much. If you want to point back, I mean, even when I was in, it's like I always say when it comes to women's sports, and I've said this since then because obviously, Eric, I played soccer. I played center mid growing up for 15 years. The U.S. men's team, the amount of money they get, I don't care if you're a soccer fan or not. The women win. The women have won on a national stage. So they've won World Cups, obviously. They've lost in some finals, but they've been to the finals. They get out of the group stage. They don't not qualify for the World Cup. Like the women's side, I mean, you laugh, but it's true. They qualify. It's true. And money there, and you know what? And hats off, because I had it on Eric. I think you were on my show back there on Sports Hangover when the U.S. hockey women said they were going to sit out. They said, you know what? Fine, put somebody else in there, and then they finally got a little more money, and then women's soccer was like, hey, we support you, and they were the same way, and they get a little more. It should be based off of winning, because the men's team might work harder, and they might actually keep a coach that should be here, and they might win more.
Bro, you can't base that off of winning, because the men's team would be on food stamps.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right, and they would deserve.
They be wishing to get them stimulus checks.
Exactly. No, but I mean, look, when it comes to the NCAA, yeah, there's a lot of issues, but they're always just reactive, and that's it. And look, it is tough when you run something that big for anybody you're not always going to get everything right, but at least be out front, have conversations with, and be transparent. Not that everybody needs to know the full conversation with everybody, but have these conversations, get out front, and to treat these women like that. I mean, yeah, it's an absolute joke.
Hold on, Mike, because I understand where you're coming from. Putting on a major event like this in a facility that you might not be accustomed to, and I am no way defending what the NCAA did. Let me make that very clear this.
No.
What I'm simply saying is athletes, men, women, are coming to your arena, to your facility, and are bringing and generating revenue to your organization, the whole, not only to their college, which they don't see a dime of, TV time, interviews, brackets. The only thing missing is the concession and the money they would generate for people actually being in the stands. Okay? Everything else has not changed. So what I am trying to wrap my head around is when you created this and you knew this was going to happen, how in God's green earth did you not prepare for both the men and the women? What, you think the women were going to go, they were going to go train somewhere else and then just show up?
No, you're missing the big picture. They didn't care.
And that's the problem.
Gino Auriemma said that this was just a small slice of what he has gone through for 20 plus years. Bro, why do you think the women's soccer team defends people who look like you and me? Because they know. Bro, they can win multiple championships. They can represent the United States to the best of their ability. But if they take one knee and show a commitment to love, loyalty, and trust and what's right on what goes on in the United States, you lose the backbone bread of what makes America great. Bro, this is nothing new. You know why you see so many interracial couples? Because they know what the hell each has been going through. Women are seen as material possessions. They're not seen as equals. Brothers have been getting used since cotton has been used for shirts. Bro, nothing has changed. And until somebody says something on TikTok, nothing ever will.
And Eric, to one up your point too on the goodie bags, the thing is, how do you like you said, you had all that time? No, it is laughable. You had all that time. You put it together, right? You knew the men were going to be in Indianapolis, the women were going to be in San Antonio. So I know this is logic, and if anybody from the NCAA is watching, please sit down because you'll probably fall over when you hear this. Every single thing you put in a goodie bag for the men, you put it in for the women. Oh my God! Like, so everybody has the same thing in their goodie bags when they show up to each item is the same. That's crazy. So that's all I'm going to say. You're right. It is pathetic, and it's just. I am
crazy. Going to continually, if I talk about nothing else with regards to sports, please believe me, I am not shutting up, and I am not going away when it comes to this. Women are athletes, and damn it, they need to be respected, and they need the equity that comes along with being an athlete in the NCAA. In the WNBA, in any other football league, soccer league, tennis, I don't give up. I'm telling you, they need to be respected. Bottom line. Let's try and end the show tonight on a good note. I know we got a lot to talk about because there still is NFL free agency going on, and there's so much stuff. And as I said to start the show, Mike, you may have missed it, but ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for after the show tonight. My brother Alex Fleming actually did do his own smoking section because, as he says under his name, he is a former Bears fan. And if you want to find out why, make sure you stay tuned after the show tonight. You don't want to miss that. So let's talk free agency, gentlemen, because people are moving. Things have happened. So let me get my piece out the way really quick, and then I'll let you gentlemen have your say, because certain members of the Philadelphia Eagles have moved on. For instance, well, let's see. Alshon Jeffrey, I believe I said that he needs to go. Well, he's gone. The Green Goblin.
Where did he go? Where did Alshon
go? He's a free agent right now.
Okay, all right.
He's a free agent. He has not been picked up by anybody to my knowledge. Now, I will gladly look to see if I am wrong in that, but I highly doubt that I am. Yeah, I think he is gone. And just right now, he's a free agent. Okay. The Green Goblin, well, I guess he's changing his hair color to either blue or red because he is now with the New England Patriots. And Deshaun Jackson, who I actually thought was going to retire, is actually signed a deal with the LA Rams. And of course, the big
more
news.
Money? He's stealing more money? They let that man steal more money. He's going to play 2 games, get hurt, and he's done. Oh, my God.
Not for the Rams. He's going to play more than 2 games for the Rams. It's a perfect fit for him.
And of course, the big news, as we all know, number 11 is back with his most trusted coach in Frank Wright in Indianapolis. Carson Wentz is no longer a Philadelphia Eagles. But I still to this day say, Howie Roseman, you the problem. Let me just say that. So that being said, the question that was raised the other day on one of the morning talk sports shows was, now that Ryan Fitzmagic is with the Washington football team and your boy Dak got his money, who's the team that's going to win the NFC East division? Now, what I found a little insulting was the fact that they mentioned Fitzmagic, they mentioned Dak, and they mentioned Danny Dimes. And I was like, so you give no love to Jalen? Really?
No.
None? None to Jalen?
Hey, Michael, back me up on this one. Philadelphia is a damn train wreck. I was in the Zoom room with Alabama, and Landon Collins already admitted that Philadelphia has reached out to him because they're not sure about Jason Kelsey. Peters is done. Whether he knows it or you know it, Peters is done. Your defense can't stop a wet paper bag with scissors in your hands. Real talk. If they get past that front 4, it's a wrap. Because your secondary is basura. Do you have a wide receiver bigger than 6 foot, other than Arcega Whiteside? No. Oh, and you don't have a security blanket for Jalen Hurts, who's an actual prototypical quarterback for the NFL. He just doesn't have any weapons. Carson didn't have any weapons, but they were winning with Jalen and not Carson. And now you picked what's that midget's name from TCU? Rager, Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson.
You know you're wrong. You know you're wrong.
That's why we're not talking about Philadelphia. But since you mentioned the NFC East, I actually like the moves that the New York Giants are making. Mm-hmm. Kenny Golladay, 4 years, $72 million. Adoree Jackson, another of many of the secondary hits that the Titans have taken. 3 years, $39 million. Re-signing of Leonard Williams, 3 years, $63 million. Plug up that hole in the middle of that defense. Now, I'm not saying the Giants are going to win the division. What I am saying is that I love Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, Kenny Golladay, Evan Ingram, and Saquon Barkley and weapons to have in the NFC East. And with Andrew Thomas, don't forget, I had him as the number 2 tackle on my big board, bro. Yes, I did. There's a reason for that. Danny Dimes is the second fastest quarterback in the NFL. I know you can't believe that. This isn't Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. I am talking about Lamar
Wildcats, baby!
Daniel Jones. Okay? You caught my reference. Yes, he can scoot. And, as far as the Washington football team is concerned, you don't need a quarterback in the first round, because if you stick around, you can get that quarterback out of Texas A&M in the 3rd or 4th round. Fitzpatrick is perfect for what you need. Pick up Micah Parsons, fix up that defense so that way you're knocking out quarterbacks left and right, do what you need to do in the NFC East, and then tailor-make your quarterback and Mon from Texas A&M. Call me now for your free read.
All right, so let me just say this before I let Mike go. Let me say one thing, and then I'm going to let you go, okay? Since we do have the number 6 pick in the first round, I'm going to say this as openly as possible, and I don't need you two on the screen with your comments or your sideness or your looks. Let me just say this. Kyle Pitts, when you watch this show, please believe Philadelphia is home to you. So make sure that you're ready and make sure you're in Cleveland on April 29th. Because when they call your name, and I'll even do my best Roger Goodell impersonation right now, with the 6th pick in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Kyle Pitts. Roger Goodell, take notes, because that's how it's done. Go ahead, Mike.
Too bad he's going to be a Jet at number 2, but it's wishful thinking. I mean, I love Kyle Pitts, but the Jets are taking him at number 2.
If you get past the Jets, he is an Eagle.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I don't think
if he gets past the Jets.
The Jets can't screw this up. Well, they can because they're the Jets. I'm trying to make it. See, I know I'd make you laugh. The Jets could screw it up, but if they don't take him, they're crazy. I'm with you on obviously the secondary in Philly. They are trash, as you shall translate for people that don't understand that, because I minored in the Espanol. No, but you made Andy Dalton get a contract with the Bears just because they knocked the Eagles out of the playoffs in that second to last game of the season. With the Giants, and you guys know how I feel. I love Danny Dimes has played very solid. He just needs to keep his balance when he's got his speed going and not fall down in the open field. But the one thing where they won't win the division, or even if they say they get to the playoffs, Alex, where they'll lose, Jason Garrett's calling plays, and inevitably it'll be a screw up. But I digress to Saquon Barkley and the Giants. To me, Dak got his money. They haven't done much in free agency outside of that. I guess they're looking to the draft. The Cardinals, well, I'll get to them in a second. But with the East, I think the Eagles would, everything to say, Dak got his money. If he doesn't perform, and I said it to you guys, if he doesn't perform, they don't win the division. He's going to be taking a lot of that smoke that you talk about, Alex, and it might be from clowns, and it might be from people that aren't clowns that are like, you wanted your money, perform. You knock on wood, you get a healthy Tyron Smith back, you get a healthy La'el Collins back, and you get a healthy Zach Martin. 3 all-pros. Not Pro Bowlers, people, all pros. Big difference, because that's not voted on by fans. That being said, you don't perform and you don't win the division. Yes, it is a letdown with what they have. We'll see what the draft is. Saquon Barkley coming back healthy, and you're right. All those receivers, look, when OBJ was there, I said this could be a nightmare for the next quite a few years. Once they got Ingram too, because I think I texted you, Eric, when they got Ingram, I'm like, dude, I know you'll sympathize with me. I'm like, this is terrible now, because our secondary was already bad. Your secondary was at least a little bit better at the time. And Washington,
not by much.
But Washington, we didn't even care about. We're like, we know we can score, but they're gonna score on us. And when they got Ingram, just to see what he can do, but man, you have this guy like Saquon Barkley, who to me was the best player in that draft, as much as it pains me because he's a Penn State guy. But that being said,
what's up, Mike?
There you go. No, but that being said, it's one of those things where I think the Cowboys would be the favorite. But again, who do they get in the draft? They definitely need another safety. And you just let Awuzie go to the Jets, and he was getting better. I mean, the way he was covering, him and Diggs, I thought worked well together, opposite of each other. And you sign Dak, and yes, you can't re-sign everybody.
It makes sense when you let go of good talent that was actually helping the team, does it?
And Byron Jones. Hey, it doesn't make sense. Yes, and Byron Jones, because Eric knows how I feel about that. I didn't want to sign Dak last year because I wanted to re-sign freaking Byron Jones. They went nuts on Amari Cooper. They extended
money.
Well, yeah, I know you're going to say that. Yes, they extended Amari Cooper. Obviously, Zeke got his. Jalen Smith got extended. You can't pay everybody, and they let Byron Jones go, in which is the area you needed the most help in. And he was safety. He was corner. Everywhere they moved him around. And now it kills me because he would have sucked last year under Mike Nolan anyway, because all Mike Nolan does is ruin defenses because he sucks. He sat in a basement and didn't watch football for a year. And then, come be the Cowboys defense coordinator.
In his eye, bro. He got Tabasco in his eye.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I want to answer this really quick because our boy John Mizak's been chiming in. He said, my thoughts on Ronald Darby since he was with us in Philly. Here's my point on Ronald Darby. Ronald Darby just transcends that whole mold of why wide receivers could do an inside or outside slant route, and then they were gone to the house because Ronald Darby couldn't stop him. He was good for maybe 2-3 games at best, and then the rest of the time, it's not even to put an all-points bulletin out or try to put his face on the milk carton. He was nowhere to be found. So I'm just saying that's my thoughts.
Julio Jones, he knows where to find Ronald Darby.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's move away from the NFC East because we could talk about them all night. But I want to talk about some of the other things that are going on, and I want to specifically talk to Mr. Fleming, our resident man in the middle here, for a minute because it truly looks as though Tampa's going to run this bitch back. I mean, bro, they signed Rob. I mean, I'm looking at everything that is going down with Tampa Bay, okay? And the list is just, like you predicted, Alex. And again, call him now for your free reading. Godwin got the franchise tag. Gronkowski got a deal. Stinney got a deal. Barrett got a deal. Nunez Roches got a deal. Levante David got a deal. They even re-signed the kicker on a 3-year deal. The only guy missing is
Leonard Fournette.
No,
they signed Shaq 4 years, $72 million.
Right, but there's another defensive guy that I thought that you were still kind of contemplating on whether he was going to stay or whether he was going to go.
No, they got David too.
Okay, so then we're good. So then, yeah, bruh, everybody's back.
Here's what's funny. I told you so. Now, not you. I know. To the haters and the people that were like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. How the hell did he get credentials? Credentials don't mean nothing. I've never heard of this guy. Hi, how you doing? Alex Fleming. 3 years in the game, no longer a rookie. Nothing soft about me, not even my emotions. I do this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sooner or later, you bastards are going to start listening. Bro, they're 11th in the salary cap. Everybody took a friendly deal. Evans and Brady gave back money. The New Orleans Saints don't have Drew Brees. They're probably better without him. Bro, they had to cut half their defense just to get underneath the salary cap. They're not a threat. What, you're going to Taysom Hill? You better not send Winston out against us. You send Winston out against us, that man might get hurt. You better not send him out against us. The only thing intact in New Orleans is the bad crab cakes, the horrible fans, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas when he's not looking like Shiso Bob. All right, because that defense is SAWFT. So,
whoa.
As far as the Falcons are concerned, are you really concerned about the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, did they fix that Gerber food defense that they have? No, they didn't fix none of that. And Julio's on his last leg, bro. They should have broke that up. But that's all right, because when they draft Justin Fields with the number 4 pick, you're going to see a new dawn of a new era. And you better not make his ass a running back. Keep him at quarterback. So when Matty Ice breaks a hip from trying to run 4 yards, you can bring in Justin Fields. Now, Carolina, they're the fly in the ointment because nobody's talking about Carolina. They actually do have a good defense, unlike the Saints and the Falcons. And that offense has actually gotten better, addition by subtraction. Now that Curtis Samuel's not going to be eating up those 103 touches, that means they're going to have to distribute the ball more. And if Christian McCaffrey actually comes back healthy, I don't think Carolina's done making a quarterback move. That's just me. But, long story short, get ready for Tampa to repeat. Get ready for Tampa to win the division. And get ready for Tampa to face the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl in L.A.
Funny you say the Buffalo Bills because they played them in the regular season. And I'm sure they'll schedule it. The dates aren't out yet, but I saw it. They play the Bills in the regular. They play the AFC East again, so he gets to go play. Belichick.
Do me a favor and write that down. On this day, March 22nd, 2021, for all the bozos and clowns in the background, and especially for those NFC South fans. Freddie Brooks, I hope you get a Freddie Brooks, Brian Franklin, Eric G, Linda Sintra, and Wanda Rashad, and all you other people in the NFC South. I hope you hear me loud and clear. Get ready, because the Bucs are going back to back.
Well,
Tampa
again,
Bay.
they play the
Hold
Bills
on.
in the
Let me
regular
make sure I got this down, Mike. Tampa Bay, Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl 56, Los Angeles, March 22nd, 2021. Okay. Got it.
All right. Well,
and if this happens, Eric, I want one of those cheesesteaks that you choke on from Philly.
I'll eat those anytime. Eric
I'll make sure that I have it. I have it ready for you before we get on the plane to head out to Los Angeles. How about that?
That sounds like a deal.
Okay.
I will say this. I think, should they be favored to win the division? Yeah, I'll never say that the Saints are better without Breeze. Again, the arm, I get it, but leadership, we'll see who's at quarterback. And again, if Jameis is, I think he can deliver. That defense, yes, has a ways to go. And them re-signing everybody is odd for a Super Bowl winning team at any time, because it rarely ever happens. But yeah, they do play the Bills at home next year, so the Bills get to come there. I'm sure, because no matter when it is, I can't wait to see that game, because that's going to be a defensive line that's back, that's hungry. They re-signed Milano as well. But yeah, they play the AFC East, so Brady's going to get to destroy the Dolphins, destroy the Jets. The Patriots game will be interesting, because I'm sure Belichick will just line speed guys up the middle and have little Mr. Tap Dance, because he can't take pressure up the middle.
That's Brady's ice cream. That's his avocado ice cream. Tom Brady can join Peyton Manning and Drew Brees as being the only quarterbacks to beat each and every NFL team.
I thought Brett Favre did it too. Yeah, Favre.
Oh, yeah, because Favre beat the Packers, right?
He beat Green Bay. Yay!
Right. Yeah.
So it'll be Favre, Brees, Manning, and then Brady.
If he beats him, but I think Belichick will just blitz him up the middle, make him tap dance all game.
You really don't think Brady's going to be ready to play against the New England Patriots this upcoming year? Really, Mike?
Is it in New England, or is it at Ray J?
It's in New England.
Oh, it's
in New England.
Okay.
I'm not saying not going to be ready, but don't tell me Belichick, with the guys they signed, defense they have coming back, you don't think he knows every single one of his weaknesses? You're going to say Belichick's just going to be like, oh, let him skate?
No.
I'm not saying they're not going to be ready.
I want that to be a Sunday night game, and I'll tell you what, I would go to that game just to watch, because tickets are going to be outrageous for that game specifically. But if there was an opportunity to get into that game, bruh. Ooh.
Well, but the Cowboys come to Raymond James next year, so you guys are getting me into that, right? When the Cowboys come and beat the Bucs?
Hey, Mike, I'll put it to you.
Diarrhea that Sunday.
Hey, Mike, I'll put it to you like
Alex,
this.
Okay, all right.
If Alex and I can get into Raymond James, we'll add a credential for you. But I'm gonna tell you this, real talk, don't hold your breath.
Okay, I see how you are. I know, because
Alex
you don't want to see the Cowboys, anyhow. Right? You don't want to see the Cowboys anyway, because it's pain for you for all your life, knowing that you root for a team like that.
Michael, we've been working together for a couple of years now, and you know how good of a year I had last year. And Tampa, for some odd reason, thought that I wasn't up to snuff with my football knowledge and intellect of the team. So if they treated me like that last year, I think this year is going to be a coin flip. But it's still a coin flip. You really think they're going to let a Dallas Cowboy fan in?
Alex, you going to Jacksonville to watch Sunshine and Urban Meyer? Don't fool the people. Don't fool the people. Come on now.
Jacksonville has they have the Bills at home too. You get to see the Bills
twice.
You get to right. Oh yeah. You get to see the Bills. Oh, the Cardinals come there, and the Niners come there too, and the Broncos.
Yeah,
which the Cardinals have had. Look, Seattle's up in flames, and I said this to my friends yesterday, because everybody always. I'm like. And I said this to you before, if the Niners come back healthy, Garoppolo at quarterback or not, they get healthy, signing Trent Williams, and they're bringing that defense back. Look, it's close, but they're the best team in the West, and everybody else is fighting for second.
I don't have a problem with the contract that San Francisco gave Trent Williams. Here's the issue I have with that contract. They gave him a 6-year, $138 million contract with the most guaranteed money ever given to any offensive lineman. 6 years. He's 32. I'm not putting it past Trent Williams. I just think it's kind of funny that you're giving a 32-year-old lineman a 6-year deal. Other than
Alex,
that, I love it.
When they cut him after the third year or maybe fourth year, when they probably cut him after the fourth year, all that does is help extend out their cap with the guaranteed money. That's all it does. That's why it's a 6-year deal. But no, when I saw the H2,
that's about a 4-year deal.
Right. I mean, it's 4 year. And look, but if he's playing at a high level, who's not to say it can last 6? But it'd be very odd for him to see every cent of that contract, but or every year of that contract and every cent. But yeah, it's just so they can extend out that guaranteed money so their cap hits. So he did them a solid, and they made him the highest paid. Did you guys see this? By $10,000 more a year than the left tackle from Green Bay. I can't remember. Thank you, Bakhtiari. Yes. So he. That's why it's like it was 0.06 at the end, because he made sure that he was making an extra $10,000 than him.
Trent Williams is better than Bakhtiari.
Well, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying like the money wise, because he was the highest paid at that time. So we'll see what happens. But I look, the NFC got crazy because when you sent me that picture of AJ Green, I was doing a game. B, I was like, holy crap! I'm like. But everybody's taking the 1-year deals, which is smart because after the TV contract, we know why. Right. But with AJ Green,
contract.
Right. But with AJ Green, and then you trade for Hudson, you don't give up any players. You just send the Raiders draft picks. Thank you very much.
Let's not look at Arizona. Let's look at the Vegas Raiders. Who the hell is going to be protecting Derek Carr? Trent Brown went to the Patriots. Hudson got sent to Arizona, and Gabe Jackson got picked up. Who the hell is protecting Derek Carr, bro?
All right, that's what I was saying. The Raiders went from having one of the best offensive lines to the fire sale of it, which I don't understand why you fire sale an offensive line. But Hudson gives the Cardinals the center they've been looking for. They drafted Mason Cole out of Michigan, and yeah, he played center at Michigan. I'm like, I think the kid can make it. He struggled at center, but he is a mauler as a guard. So now you put him next to Hudson. If you put him on the left side, he's in between Hudson and Humphreys. Look, they didn't re-sign Kenyon Drake, and when you look at the running game, kind of more scat backs now. But you get AJ Green, you can flex Christian Kirk into the backfield.
You didn't need Kenyon Drake because you got Chase Edmonds. It's
right, but he's a scat back. Yeah, but he's not a 3-down back. And I'm not saying they're not going to draft somebody or bring somebody else in. It's still early, but for him to hold up, you're talking injuries, Alex. For him to hold up, he's not being a 3-down back for 16 games.
Okay, watch this. Running backs that came out of Alabama that's not booty. Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, the one that just came out not too long ago.
Jacob, the one at the Raiders, Jacobs.
Yes, Josh Jacobs. Yeah, Josh Jacobs. You know who people don't talk about? Kenyon Drake. Booty.
True. No, I mean they don't want to look. They can't pay everybody. You bring in J.J. Watt. You get AJ Green. If Fitzgerald comes back, that's what I'm saying. If the Niners get healthy, the NFC West literally with these signings and Trent Williams, everybody's starting the season healthy.
It's the best division of football.
Yeah, hands down. I mean, and Kyler Murray getting better, and you have him on the cheap, so you can make these deals right now. It's going to be very fun to see. I mean, it's going to be electric around here. And J.J. Watt, like I was saying to you, Alex, only has to play 25 to 30 downs. Plays.
Okay.
But
save this because we've still got a month to go before we really see how these teams are going to form. And then once the schedule actually does come out, we know who's playing whom, but I want to see the schedule. That's when we really get into how this team is going to fare. Mike, no one cares. How these teams are going to match up. And much like we did last year, gentlemen, I am going to ask that you join me once again when we do the first round of the NFL draft. Now, Alex, if you make your way to Cleveland, brother, handle your business. We'll hold it down without you. But you will be missed. But go up there and do your thing. And as always, whatever you need from me, I got you.
If I do decide to go to Cleveland, I'm going to represent the NFL Carousel, Journey with the Jays, Skull King Sports, the sports arena, Next Gen Sports, and everybody to the fullest of my capabilities. You know I don't like traveling and embarrassing anybody. If I travel, it's a business trip.
Well, of course, in 3 days, NFL draft all 7 rounds, brother, you going to be tired. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But listen, gentlemen, as always, I appreciate y'all joining me here tonight on the Sports Arena. Michael Caratanudo, Believe in the Pac-12 podcast. And Mike, what games are you calling, man? Whenever I call you, you're like, dude, I'm heading to a game. I'm heading to a game. What games are you calling?
Oh, a lot of prep stuff. Baseball, softball. I mean, a lot of time, like that one night I talked to you was at a soccer game, doing a little battle on the pitch there. So yeah, pretty much every sport. It's crazy busy because people can't go to games, so they have to watch the stream. They get to listen to my beautiful voice, educated because I talk to coaches and stuff. But by the way, speaking of Pac-12, coming into today, the only undefeated conference in the NCAA tournament was the Pac-12. All you clowns that said the Big Ten, Loyola Chicago, my pick, beat Illinois, my pick. I'll send you guys a picture of the bracket. I took Loyola Chicago. The Big Ten, Ohio State, all they could do. Gonzaga, I told you, was the best team in the country. Hands down. And Eric knows I hate Ohio State. I won't trash
I wasn't
Penn State.
disagreeing with you on Gonzaga. I said Gonzaga was a good team.
No, I know. Not you. I heard there was a guy on the radio that was saying Illinois would wipe the floor with Gonzaga. How's Illinois wiping that floor when they can't get out of the second round? I'm just curious. Oh, and Gonzaga put up the most points in the tournament today. Oh, but yeah, Big Ten. Bye. Gonzaga's going to win it all. Pac-10 was undefeated. I think Colorado tonight was the first loss. But UCLA, who had to play Michigan State and play in, I'm not hating on you, Alex, because you're right. I felt the same way too. But I'm sick of hearing there's a best conference. I'm sorry. I look at the guards that come out of the Pac-12. We go through NBA history. A lot better than the guards out of the Big Ten for careers. Just going to say it. And I love Russell Westbrook. And he couldn't even start at UCLA, which was mind-blowing. Anyway, they're undefeated. I'm going to leave it on a happy note. I'm just happy because that's the only conference that went undefeated.
Fair enough. We're going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. My man, Michael Caratanudo, Believe in the Pac-12. Mr. Alex Fleming, a laundry list of shows from top to bottom. You didn't know his name 3 years ago, but guess what? You damn sure know his name now. And your man, Eric Wilson, Sports Arena. Like I said, as soon as we're done, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Mr. Fleming and his smoking section talking about his former football team. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you guys next week.